Have you ever heard somebody say, a picture is worth 1,000 words? Well, did you notice that when they made that statement about the limitations of words, they were actually using words? And not 1,000 of them either, only 7. So why do people say that? I mean, seriously, if a picture is really worth 1,000 words and they want to get that concept from their brain to your brain, why don't they just hold up the appropriate picture? They'd have like 993 words left over. But you see, our society is biased against words. Pictures get a lot more respect. They really do. Now, why is this? I think part of the problem is that words seem ordinary to us because we all use them. I think when people look at the Mona Lisa, they're thinking to themselves, wow, I could never do that. But when they read when they read the Cliff Notes for Hamlet, they think, well, I could probably do that. What's the big deal? I kind of already do that. To be or not to be. I use most of those words when I order a pizza. What people fail to realize is that there are more than 1 million words in the English language, and that the options for constructing even a single sentence are literally endless. No matter how subtle or nuanced the thought in your head, you can arrange words in a pattern which will express it. So do I love words? I mean, do I sit around all day writing words in a little journal covered with butterflies while listening to the music of James Taylor? That's not important right now. Actually, I do love words. But it's not a simple or straightforward kind of love. It's more like I'm in a relationship with language, but it's complicated. This is because so often the words won't do what I want them to, and it's so frustrating. I feel like human beings, every single one of us, we're each living on our own little island with thousands of miles of ocean between ourselves and the people in our lives. We have all these messages we want to send, and language is like the bird whose leg we attach our desperately scribbled notes to, the only way we know of to send our messages across all that open water. But unfortunately, this bird is not a compact, efficient little carrier pigeon. Language is more like an albatross. Have you ever seen an albatross? They're these huge, majestic seabirds. They have the biggest wingspan of any bird, up to 12 feet. But those wings can get in the way. Back in the day, sailors used to capture albatrosses when they could. They'd put them on the deck of the ship and laugh as the poor birds stumbled around, tripping over their own mighty wings. So often my words stumble, trip over themselves, don't go anywhere even though the message they carry is urgent. But I know if they can just get a little air under them, if they can just spread those wings, they can go anywhere. And the message they carry doesn't have to be 1,000 words long, not even close. Have you ever heard those 3 little words? Not those 3. Has anybody ever said, I forgive you, to you? I remember hearing I forgive you once, and the bitter winter which held sway over my soul ended so quickly that the roses which bloomed in its place had ice crystals on them. And when that happened, I thought of the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I had to laugh. They build magnificent museums to house the most beautiful pictures our species is able to produce. But as far as I'm concerned, there is no museum good enough, grand enough to contain the words, I forgive you. That building is beyond the skill of human architecture. So that's it. That's how I feel about language. I hope I've made my point, but if I haven't, please don't judge me too harshly. This poem has less than 1,000 words. Thank you for listening.